Max is back. Max is back here on eXhuming the X-Files. My name is Matthew, joined with Jeremy.
Hey everybody, Max is back, by
Max
the
is back. Max is back. Tempus Fugit, directed by Rob Bowman, written by Chris Carter and Frank Spotnitz. We're just going to get right into this because I know that I'm going to tell you a story about this because I remember this episode from when I was younger, when I saw it. Fallen Angel, I believe, was a season 1 episode that had Max from Nightcap in it, and that character was awesome. That actor was awesome. You watch that episode, and he's like a character you'll never forget. That actor did such a great job, and the whole episode was so cool. And of course, at the end of it, he gets like abducted by aliens in front of Mulder and all of that stuff. It's just fantastic, and we never hear about Max again.
Because he just vanishes at the end of that episode. Like, he just gets fucking abducted. Goodbye, Max.
Yeah.
He gets his nightcap cap that he hangs in his office, but that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And so we had to wait, 3 more seasons until we finally get Max back. Now, I'm very excited right now, but I'm going to temper this because when I was younger, I remember being super excited at the beginning of this episode, especially the prologue, and then being crushingly disappointed as the rest of the episode went on. And we'll talk about that because I felt the same way as I was watching this today as I did when I was like 15 or 16 years old, whenever this came out. Now, did you remember this episode from when you were younger?
I remembered bits and pieces, and when Max was back, I messaged you. I was jazzed about it.
I was working, but I checked my thing. I was like, "Oh, man, you got Max is back."
And then the episode happened. I'm like, oh.
And then Max is gone.
Underutilized.
That's an understatement. But we'll get into it. Let's talk about Max.
It starts with this fantastic shot of an airliner where the camera is outside of the cockpit, and they actually like just dolly the camera down to like the windows of first class. I really like the shot. Yeah. I can't believe that they assembled that much of a plane fuselage just to make these shots work. There's a sleazy passenger asks for a scotch and soda, staring at the ass of the stewardess, because we still called them stewardesses back then instead of flight attendants. And while he's staring at this girl, he's trying to convince this thinning-haired ginger next to him that handsome Clint Howard isn't worth paying attention to, and he shouldn't be paranoid about being on the flight. I didn't recognize Matt right off the bat. Or because Max. Maybe it was 480p, but I just saw,
it's been a while.
He wasn't wearing his hat. It was just some dude.
Yeah. You gotta wait for that close-up.
But Max is like, he can't concentrate or he can't just sit there and relax on the flight because he's like protecting this bag in his hands, and he's like looking about 8 rows back, and handsome Clint Howard is just mean mugging.
Yeah.
So Clint Howard gets up to go to the bathroom. Once he goes in the bathroom, he starts assembling this plastic pistol that he's going to shoot Max with. Then all of a sudden, the pilot and the co-pilot see some crazy shit, and they're like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then there's like the whole plane just starts bucking, like it's got some bad turbulence. So the dude coming out of the bathroom isn't just gonna make this shot really, really quick. And then all of a sudden, this bright light starts shooting through the windows, like it's scanning each one of the rows, trying to figure out where Max is at. And then it ends with this, like, it finally centers on the window that Max is next to, which he's conveniently in the emergency exit row.
Yeah.
And the light starts getting brighter. There's this sweet ass sound effect. I'm like, this effect in 480p is actually very cool. And then we get the title screen. don't know what actually happened.
Yeah, this opening is awesome. It's absolutely awesome. It's like, all right, how did Max get back? Right, I'm already invested because I want to know why is he on this plane? What does he have? Why are aliens coming and abducting him again? Who's trying to kill him? And it does the great thing that those sort of opening cold opens that X Files has, where it leaves you wanting to know what the hell just happened, and it was perfect. Perfect way to start the show.
It's these two-parter alien ones. They almost always stick the landing, at least on the pre-title screen.
Yeah.
But I think we begin this season with that, and they really just set the tone for the rest of the season, if I'm recalling correctly. But it's been a while,
Yeah.
and it can be forgiven because these episodes are so delicious. Uh, Cuts to Mulder's embarrassing Scully by making the waitstaff sing her happy birthday while giving her a snowball with a sparkler sticking out of it.
I like how she actually says like you never remember my birthday, and I was like, what kind of asshole does Mulder have to be to? Well, I will point out early at this season they were really going out of their way to make Mulder act like an asshole, and I did notice I forgot to mention this on I think on the Caddish one, but they've kind of shifted him to not being just an abject dick all the time in the episodes. I noticed a shift here, and during this sort of this birthday sequence when she's like, "You never remember my birthday." And he's like, "Oh, I do it once every 4 years. It's like dog years." And she's like, "A dog?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I got you a gift." He's actually being like nice and not an asshole, which I enjoy.
It was a cute opener, and then she opens her gift, and it looks like he just got it at like I don't know a space camp
Gift store.
fucking gift store. Yeah, it's an Apollo 11 keychain, and I don't remember if there was any. I remember that Mulder was fascinated with space because of the Space Ghost episode that we're all still trying to forget. But I can't remember if he had any specific ties to the Apollo 11 program or not.
I don't think so. I think that, well, at the end of the next episode, we get the funny line that it sort of comes full circle with this. But Apollo 11 was the first time we actually landed on the moon and walked around, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
but she's taking it out of the box and she's trying to do the make the this is not a really lame present and experience sort of face. But then all of a sudden this girl walks up, this blonde girl walks up and crashes their dinner and says that she's Max Fennick's sister
Yeah.
and that there was a plane crash. And I'm like, I wrote in all caps, "Oh, Thinning Ginger is the NICAP guy." Uh, and then the next scene, Mulder just shows up to the investigate. Like they're doing the pre everybody, or you got a guy in charge of the investigation of the crash. You have all of his people that are out in front of him. Like, this is what we're looking for. This is what you need to be paying attention to. And Mulder just shows up and just immediately starts pissing off the guy by talking about how they're aliens and shit. It's like you could have had this conversation in private, or just pull him to the side, maybe send an email.
Yeah.
Like,
They're like, "Oh, well, if we find any like green goo, we'll let you know."
they end up going out to the plane crash spot. They make a comment that like a lot of the plane seems to be missing. There isn't a lot. There's like a tail section and a few of the wings, but they
Yeah.
just kind of write it off that the
He's like,
plane came down at a very very steep angle. Very, very.
yeah, high rate of speed, and it just kind of like disintegrated, I guess.
And then I wrote, like the missing parts of the plane, they only find half of formerly handsome Clint Howard They steal his gun, melt his fingertips and his face off with some
Yeah,
chloroform.
that's right. I actually forgot about that. Yeah, so those random dudes just try to cover up the evidence of Clarence Rat Clint Howard.
Um, they make it a point to point out watches, and I'm like, you remember the '90s when everybody used to wear watches?
Oh yeah.
But they find that 9 minutes is missing, and I feel that there should have been a callback to this 9 minutes in one of the previous two episodes that we're watching, just to remind us idiots that like 2 seasons ago they missed exactly 9 minutes while they were driving along a road.
I remember it's the pilot episode, right? The
Yeah,
very first season, like Mulder's all excited because they missing time, and Scully's like, "Missing time? What is that?"
it's
Abductees
but
report missing time.
he really pushes the 9 minutes thing.
Yeah.
And I think missing time is one thing. That's just a general statement. But like saying about the nine minutes exactly is supposed to put us at the audience like, oh my god, it's that again. But I didn't remember 9 minutes, just missing time.
Hmm.
But that was
Fair.
propped up as something that was really important. They find a survivor, and Scully steps in as apparently the only medical person on the entire crash site recovery team and demands that they airlift this person to a burn unit. Now, I would imagine there would have been a few medical people there and probably a helicopter or like a life flight helicopter already there. That's just how I imagine it going in a disaster recovery like this. But,
Yeah.
you know, this is this world and not the real world, as you keep fucking reminding me. Um, she Scully goes from like rescuing the survivor that I don't think is mentioned ever again in the episode. They never talk to him or figure out if he lives or not. I don't remember him ever showing up again.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
remember it. Maybe does he show up in the next episode? I don't remember. Yeah, that's a good point.
she goes from there to meeting Max's sister at an airplane, and Max's sister just starts offloading all of these suitcases, and it's like, no, that isn't my luggage. That's just a bunch of letters that Max wrote to me.
Yeah.
And she starts grilling the sister like on the spot as though she would know something about the radiation burns that they found a bunch of people having at the plane crash. Like, what do you know about this? Like, what the fuck would she know?
Oh yeah, in Max in that opening scene, I don't know if you could see it on 420p, but he also had radiation burns on his face.
On the in the second episode, I could see in 420p,
Okay.
but the first episode, no, I couldn't see the radiation burns. Why are you judging me, man? Why are you judging me?
I'm not judging.
480p original style. I should be trying to figure out how to broadcast this shit on an antenna and just picking it up on some bunny ears in the basement. Let me see. What happens? They end up finding Max's dead body, and I wrote boo.
Yeah, this is like this is the point where I got really disappointed because it came back to me. I was like, "Oh yeah, they do the thing where they don't use Max at all. They just kill him off like
Yep.
immediately. They Newton Hicks him. He's just dead for the rest of the time. We see him in the next episode briefly in a like pre-recorded video, but they do not use Max as a main story point at all. Like him as a living character. He was abducted by aliens, and we're gonna see him again. No, he's just dead.
You
Sucks.
now do you wonder? Did you ask yourself at any point during the episode, like, was this written this way? Was this an intentional call? Did did they realize that this guy just couldn't act for shit and they
Oh
just
no,
didn't
no, no.
like him?
We'll get to the fun facts at the end of the episode. You'll learn
Okay.
more about why they
It
killed him off.
because it felt like the sister was just inserted in his place in this episode.
Yeah, and I don't give a shit about the sister, the
Not
quote
not
unquote sister.
not, not even kind of.
Yeah, it's just like I wanted to see Mulder and Scully interact with Max again. Like this is the bitterness that you get, where it's like, oh, we're gonna make a bunch of sequels to Star Wars, but we're never gonna put Han, Leia, and Luke in a scene together. We're just gonna kill them all off, movie by movie by movie. It's fucking stupid. Put them together. If you want to do, kill off Max at the end of the two-parter, okay, I can live with that. But to just never utilize him, ah, leaves a bad
You
taste in my mouth.
While you're on the topic of Star Wars, do you know that I've not seen any of the new three ones? The new
Oh, that's
trilogy?
probably good.
Wow.
No, it's good. They're terrible. I mean, The Force Awakens, I can live with. Last Jedi destroys the character of Luke Skywalker, and Rise of Skywalker destroys my favorite character, Emperor Palpatine. Don't watch them. You don't need to. They're
But
trash.
they announced that the Palpatine was coming back in that Fortnite event, and so he's back for some reason.
Yeah, he's back. There's literally a line where one of the characters goes, somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah,
And that's the
I
explanation you
mean,
get.
I've been on the internet. I've seen that, or I've seen that part of it. Because wow,
Oh
what?
man. Oh,
what
don't get me started on this because we'll get sidetracked for 45 minutes.
We're going there someday, Matt. We're going down that road.
Oh no!
So,
Prepare yourself.
gird your loins. So, they go to they go to a random Air Force tower that at no point in this story has been established. Needed to be visited. Um, they visit with one of there apparently is only two air traffic controllers at this air base, and one of them is like, yeah, no, we didn't see nothing. They just gave him the facts and stuff. We didn't reach out to him. We didn't do anything. And then like they leave, and then the shorter one of the two comes out, and he's like, why didn't you tell him the truth, man? If they come back here, I'm gonna fucking tell them the truth. um
Then you're gonna call me. That's funny because the guy's like, then you're gonna make me be a liar. It's like, but you are. Like you are literally a liar.
so fucking what? So at some point in all of this, the sister gets abducted from the hotel room that she's at by these bright lights that scatter all of her letters from Max all over the room and then out into the street. They end up getting a complaint for some reason. It's like, hey, the person you put up in our hotel, she fucking trashed this room. She blew the door off the hinges, just scattered papers everywhere. Somebody's gonna pay for this.
Tax
And
dollars.
I also didn't care. Like I didn't care about this chick at
No.
all. But
Nope. Could have been
um,
Max.
it should have been Max. But then for some reason, while they're at this hotel room, the head investigator guy of the plane crash shows up at their hotel to say, "Hey, you're gonna have to explain some shit to me because the way things are looking right now, I'm gonna start. If I go out there and announce what I have to announce, I'm gonna sound as crazy as that shit you were saying in the meeting." And he shows him like this. What happened was this plane's emergency door was basically ripped off of the plane from the outside, and that's impossible to do.
Yep. Not for
Uh,
aliens.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they wouldn't use like lasers or something like that. They wouldn't just
Now,
freeze everything in time and just
I don't remember. Is it before this or after this? Because Mulder's whole thing is like, you ain't gonna find Max because Max was abducted while he was on that plane. And there's at some point, Scully tells him like, we found Max's body. Like Max is dead, and Mulder's like actually at like the body bag, and he unzips it and he looks at him. And I think doesn't Max even have like Mulder's business card
Yeah,
covered in
his
blood? Like
bloody
it's like
business card.
it's like why you still have his card? You haven't talked to the guy in 4 fucking years. You still got his business card like in your shirt pocket? Okay, uh, but I was like, there was a nice little moment there where David Duchovny almost acted really good. Where
Almost.
he almost got there where he almost
He
had
was
that
on the cusp of it.
genuine like, oh man, this sucks. Max is dead. He didn't quite reach it, but he almost got there.
Almost.
Almost.
And then he starts going through other people's body bags and realizing that somebody stole all of the watches of the people. Okay.
9 minutes. They're trying to cover up that 9 minutes.
Frisch, the soldier, the taller airman who lied to the FBI, comes back into work in order to replace the only other guy that works in the tower. Finds him that he has a bullet in his head, and he knows that his buddy, his coworker, whatever you want to call it, he knows he didn't kill himself. And then he looks out the window and he sees all of these headlights of 3 different vehicles just tearing ass towards the tower, and he knows that they're going to kill him. What did they fucking leave for? They were there. They staged the body and they killed that dude in the control tower. Why didn't they just sit there and wait for him to come to work?
Good question.
And instead, we got this whole scene where they're
Bad writing.
yeah, right. They give him enough time to escape, and he does. And he escapes, and he goes straight to Scully, and says she takes him to the head investigator of the plane crash, where the Air Force guy straight up says there was a second aircraft. They shot something down that ended up taking the plane down with it. And then right as they're about to leave, and we're getting into this whole FBI protection detail sort of thing, because Scully and Mulder are in charge of this airman's life. They're about to leave, I believe, to go back to DC and put this guy under another protective detail. Then all of a sudden, like on this runway, they're suddenly being blocked by headlights, the same headlights that seem to be chasing this airman Frisch earlier in the episode, like the previous scene. And they have a car chase on this giant open runway.
Yeah.
Like Mulder takes this hard, erratic turn, but it's not like they would just. It's a big fucking runway. You're just turning on a huge paved road, and they're like, "Oh god." He has moves like that. They would just have to gently turn in the direction that he was going in. But eventually, they just they play chicken with an airplane. They get under it. The plane lands and causes these guys that are giving chase to like get stuck in the mud or something on the edge of the runway, and they get away.
Yeah. I mean, it's very cinematic. Got to spend that budget somehow.
All while this is happening, the head investigator goes back out to the crash site. He sees the same I'm pretty sure the same triangular UFO that Mulder saw at a military base like many, many, many episodes ago. You remember that one that appeared over the top of his head? It looked the same.
Yeah, it did.
And then it vanishes, and then it appears right over the top of him and flashes him with light, and then it bolts off in a very, very similar way. Though it's weird when the UFO is right over the top of him, it makes it look like he is bigger than the UFO.
I know. I wrote that down. I was like, so it's a long shot, but it's not that long. It's hard to describe what it is, but the dude basically takes up half the frame. Like you see his body halfway up the frame, but then they put the entire UFO at the top of the frame, right above him. So it makes it look like the UFO is the tiniest fucking UFO you've ever seen.
He would have trouble standing up straight in it if they sucked him up there.
Yeah, it looks really weird. Like I don't know who decided to do that shot, but it doesn't work.
They made it work because they vanish, and then all of a sudden, what's his face's sister, Max's fake sister, is suddenly screaming from the bushes where the aliens dropped her off at. While they're trying to figure out, or they've eluded that there's a second crash site all of a sudden. That or they haven't outside of finding radiation, outside of that the plane had crashed. They don't really have an explanation this late in the episode.
Well, Mulder has a theory. Mulder has a theory that a UFO showed up to abduct Max while the airplane was flying. And in the midst of that, the military had sent a fighter jet to intercept, to blow up the spaceship, to shoot the spaceship down, which I think Mulder thinks is what happened. And he's looking for that second crash site. Like, he's trying to find where the UFO would have crashed, because in the midst of all that, I guess the fighter jet also ended up blowing up, the main plane that Max was on. That's how I took the explanation.
Okay, but what has been presented to us in this episode that we could jump to that conclusion with them?
Nothing.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter.
I just wanted to be clear. I just wanted to be clear that it was, in fact, nothing. All right. So, Mulder shows up because they have to investigate the second crash site. He has the head investigator like totally on board because now he's seen a UFO. Though it's not a crashed UFO. So, whatever. Let's not tell the FBI agent that you saw a UFO, right?
Yeah.
But Mulder randomly chooses a lake on a map that is a second crash site, and he just goes to the marina of that lake and just happens to find a guy standing out there on the marina. Is like, what's going on? There's this search and rescue thing. There's lights everywhere. And Mulder's like, take me out. I'm FBI. I don't even know if he pulls out his badge. He just says, take me out there.
Yeah.
I does.
Give me a wetsuit. Let me get out there. And an air tank. And what's the line that the guy says? He's like, have you ever done this before? And Mulder's like, well, when I was a kid, I jumped in a pool and took a quarter off the bottom. Or something.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, I got a quarter off the deep end of the pool at the Y. That was a great line.
Yeah.
And then he goes into the water like a professional. In the meantime, Scully ends up going back to DC, and she's holed up in a hotel room with the Air Force guy. And he's like, I want to call my girlfriend to let her know that I ain't coming home. And she's like, don't fucking tell her anything. But apparently, whatever conversation he had, again, completely blew their cover. Because Scully then leaves the hotel room to take the airmen to the same bar she just had her birthday celebrated at.
Yeah. Just bring him out in the open.
You know why they shot it that way?
Because they wanted to save money.
Yeah, they shot those shots like back to back.
Oh yeah, those scenes were scheduled in the same 4-hour block.
Yeah. So they go in. They basically sit at the exact same table. There's a dude, Agent Pendrell.
He's got a thing for Scully.
And he's apparently been just sitting at the bar drinking since their birthday party because he's like, oh, hey, you're here. This is a birthday girl. Let me buy you a drink. She's like, no. And he straight up bullies her into a drink.
Yeah. Well, he looks over and he sees that the military guy or whatever, who's still in his military fatigues, he's like, oh, I'll buy him a drink too. We'll all have a drink together.
And so she just goes along with it because she gets bullied into it. And she goes back, she sits down as the drinks are coming out to the table. A really ugly Geraldo Rivera enters the bar.
By the way, he's supposed to be one of the men in black when I was doing my research.
What?
Yeah, he
He's
does not
just
look like
some
one.
fucking dude.
Well, he's Geraldo Rivera. Yeah, don't know. I'm just, hey man, research said he's supposed to be a men in black. Or
Well,
man in black.
he didn't need to stop at the doorway in order to gun this airman down. He could have walked all the way up to the gunman or the airman, pulled out his gun, just blasted him. But instead, he pulls out his gun 30 feet away as he came in the door.
It's like that scene in Tech Noir in Terminator. It's like a slow motion thing when he starts pulling, like the Terminator pulls out his gun to try to shoot Sarah Connor. It's the same sort of thing. I feel like that was an homage a little bit by the director.
Well, Scully shoots the dude in the leg. The dude shoots the agent
Pendrell.
Pendrell
Put some
Poindexter.
respect on his name, damn it.
Agent Pendrell gets shot. Scully just shoots the dude in the leg, but only in the kneecap, and drops him. Then it cuts back to Mulder. He finds a bunch of really weird wreckage that's glowing green, and it's completely unclear what or why crashed, but it does look cool. And then he finds a dead gray alien just like floating in the water. He
Looks
starts
awesome.
freaking out. Then all of a sudden bright lights are shining on him from above. So he looks up and he's like, "Oh my god, the aliens are here." Then we get the to be continued.
Now, a couple weeks ago, when we talked about Scully pulling out her gun and shooting, you got really in a hissy fit about this particular scene with Scully shooting the man in black in the leg. So expand upon that. I've been waiting to hear why you were so angry that she shot him in the leg.
I think I have to wait until the next episode to talk
Okay.
about this because the rest of it doesn't happen until then. But
Okay.
keep in mind,
Okay.
you remember the Hasidic Jew episode where they get knocked over by nothing in 480p and she just pulls her gun out and
Yes.
wildly fires into the ceiling?
Uh-huh.
And okay, so she shoots the dude in the leg. She's trained to shoot to kill, right?
Sure.
And she's done it in previous episodes where she's shot to kill. But it's clear she shoots the dude in the leg with just one shot. No follow-up shots, not emptying the mag into the dude, just shoots him once. And then we get, the gray alien, bright lights, to be continued.
Okay. Okay. Well, what did you think of this episode?
I liked it a lot. I mean, outside of Max coming back and not using him for anything, which feels like there was some sort of conflict. Maybe somebody died, or they just like the Max guy just wanted too much fucking money, and they're like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself. We have this blonde. We'll just pretend she's like, I don't know."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I
other
mean,
than that,
what did you like about it, though?
I mean, you have a gray alien. I think it's the closest Mulder has been to one yet in an episode.
That's all we need to like an episode.
Oh,
There's
come
a
on!
gray
Yeah,
alien.
yeah. I'm a whore. I'm a whore for it.
I agree with you, though. I 100% agree with you.
You had the awesome pre-title screen with the bright light.
Yeah.
That was a cheap effect. That was just sound and really bright light in the camera work, but it was cool. I liked it. You had Max come back for at least a little bit, and it's just one of those episodes. It's an alien episode. Of course, I'm gonna fucking like it.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's so difficult to get over the fact that they neuted the aliens reference. They neuted Max. it's just very difficult for me to get past that. The rest of it is cool. Like I love when Mulder's down there in the deep ocean and he's
Oh,
looking at the
that fucking
crash.
UFO is dope.
Yeah, and the alien comes out and his eyes go wild and he's freaking out. And you're right. I think that is the closest. Well, I think when he was in the tunnels in that one episode when they're all like the weird alien things were running past him, but he didn't actually see them. I don't think. This one he got his eyes on it. In the next episode, I'll just say this because I'll forget about it. I don't understand why Mulder isn't putting 100% priority in trying to get somebody out there to retrieve that alien body that he saw with his own eyes. He never mentions it again. But in the moment, it's really, really cool. So the episode starts awesome. It ends awesome. It's entertaining all throughout. It's just, man, where's my Max? I
It's my
don't get
boy.
I don't get enough Max, and I don't even think he says a line of dialogue in this episode because he doesn't say a word in the cold open, and we don't
No.
see him again after that. We just see him dead.
Well, no, yeah, we don't get to even see any of the videotapes that show up in the next episode with him on.
No, it's like literally he shows up for a minute and a half, says nothing, and that's it. So that's probably the biggest disappointment with the episode for me. But again, it's got a gray alien that pops up for 5 seconds, and so I'm on board. I'm into it. So fun facts
Cool.
about this episode. This will get to your question about the airplane. During the production of the third season, special effects supervisor Dave Gauthier constructed an elaborate mock up of a Boeing 737 airplane in order to be able to simulate a crash. Series creator Chris Carter decided to make use of this rig during the fourth season. When conceiving of the episode, the desire to add to Fox Mulder's emotional involvement by having someone he knew on board led to the writers bringing back the character of Max Fennig to be that person. Scott Bellis, who had previously portrayed Fennec in the first season episode Fallen Angel, had auditioned for other roles. This is what's crazy. He auditioned for other roles on the show, but had always been rejected by the producers because his character was felt to be too memorable. You think? Really? Bellis met series star David Duchovny at a gym several times and learned from him that the character of Max was being considered for a two-part episode. The episode's co-writer, Frank Spotnitz, did not want to have Fennig's appearance, quote, milked, unquote, or do something the show had already done. As such, he came up with the idea to kill off Fennig in the first part of the episode, which he felt was a, quote, bold choice, unquote. So, no, this guy, this actor, wanted to be on the show in other roles. He got excited when he met David Duchovny. He was like, oh, wow, they're going to bring Max back? The fucking writer of this episode decided, you know what? We're just going to subvert expectations. We're just going to kill him off. Like in Last Jedi. We're just going to subvert expectations. We're going to make Luke Skywalker a fucking asshole. Ha! Look at that. Creativity. No, fuck that. It's stupid. It was a bad choice. It was a bad choice then. It's a bad choice now. Fuck the writer for that choice.
You gotta find this is you said this is Frank Spotness's.
Yeah.
If you ever find that he's at a con for some reason, any reason, you're going to have to set it up to where you're just have to go pee next to him at a urinal at some point. And while you're there, just taking your leak, you just got to turn to him and say, "This is for Max Fennig." You just turn your whole body and start pissing down his leak.
Justice for Max. Oh boy. And the show's producers wanted the plane crash site and investigation to be as authentic as possible, so they used a National Transportation Safety Board official to act as their technical advisor on the episode to ensure that everything was properly recreated. The NTSB officials noted that the site was authentic in every way, quote, except for the smell, unquote. And director Rob Bowman admitted that the episode exceeded its given budget, noting that Chris Carter would often defend him from Fox studio officials angry at his production costs. So there you go. That is Tempus Fugit. We have finished part one of the two-part Alien episode. So join us next Friday on eXhuming the X-Files because we're going to talk about the two-parter that they just are sticking the knife in and twisting it around inside me. It's called Max. That's the title of the episode, is Max. So, Jeremy, do you think we're going to get a lot more Max?
I mean, compared to this episode from a technical perspective, yes. Yes, I do.
So, join us next Friday, everybody, as we talk more about Max. See you then.